is CEMTV. Reliable news and entertainment.
My fellow Nigerians, it is about that time for us to take jolly life. Yes, you are tuned to CEMTV, the one and only. And of course, I am Emmanuel Terminal Tenary. But you, you especially, you can call me Tammy for short. I'm not doing it alone today. I have the weather oracle here with me, Vera Philip. Vera.
Yes,
Na Friday.
What's
Na Friday.
Today we're not going to have thank God it's Friday. I've been thinking about it. You know.
Oh, but
should be sponsored by you, Tammy.
By who?
Tammy, you. This
By
the
who?
month of July. I'm putting it to you, Tammy, that it's time for you to sponsor us. You know, when I was in church on Sunday, they taught us about, the concept of growth in plants, right?
Yeah.
And how plants have to give some sort of raindrops to get sunlight and then grow. So you have to deposit something here for more money to enter into your pocket. So by doing that, you need to sponsor Thank God It's Friday today. Like that inspiration just came from heaven, and you better allow it to do its work right now. So let's talk now. How are we doing it? What's going to happen? What are you sponsoring? What should I order? Which vendor am I calling? Let's start preparing. It's not too late. It's just past 2 p.m. What's the plan?
You see, man shall not live by bread alone.
But for every word that comes out from his mouth.
From the mouth of the Lord God. So, if I'm sponsoring Thank God It's Friday, I will open up my Bible, because there is no greater food than the bread of the word of the Lord. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
Because
you're preaching now, aren't we?
Because you want me to sponsor something. So silver and gold have I none.
You have it though.
But what I have,
you don't have silver.
I am willing to give unto you.
Which is what?
The word of God. If you drink of this word, you will never taste it.
So what is it in the
if I buy you wine today,
what is it in the word of God are you saying now? No, what are you giving? Which word of God?
It is inspired. I cannot tell you as of right now.
It
is when I am inspired by the Spirit that I will then give you that which the Spirit ought.
We have a problem.
I give unto you.
We have a problem. All this thing now, tell me, for you to sponsor Thank God It's Friday that we're talking about.
I've told you the way I can sponsor. Because like I said earlier, I don't have silver and gold. But what I have, I give unto you. It's for you to now say, I accept the offer. No be so. It's for you to not tell me yes.
I don't have I accept Thank God It's Friday. Don't worry, I know God for me too. So we have our personal relationship, and we'll definitely build on our personal relationship.
So it means that you have not taken the responsibility of sponsoring away from me.
No. Tell me. Sponsor Thank God. Okay, you know what? Let's reduce it. Sponsor Thank God It's Friday for just me and you. Like maybe on the show, after the show, let's
it is still written that where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Tell me, welcome to Jolly Life.
So without being, I don't dodge him now. Okay.
Welcome to Jolly Life right here on CEM Television. My name is Vera Philip. I'm hanging out with Tammy, of course, and we've had a great first session for this one. I mean, Tammy has given us a word of mouth that God has given us to him, and now it's time for us to, of course, have the conversations that we come here to have on our Journey Life. Welcome once again. Oh yeah, Tammy, take over.
Yes, so you get into the trend online now, on X. There's this one lady that made a post, and that post, it had so many other ladies confused, irritated, and upset, and some, they had some things to say. But first off, here is that post. This lady, Sholakwe, says, I'm 23 years old, and I've never owned an iPhone before. Thank God for the spirit of contentment my parents taught me, because I know that I know what a lot of girls have done just to own an iPhone to feel among. That's a very heavy claim, that it's the spirit of contentment that has stopped her, from inadvertently owning, an iPhone for the sake of joining the bandwagon or feeling among, as she said. Now, coming to Vera, you're also a lady. Do you think it is more or less the spirit of contentment, or do you think it's just basic discipline? Because I know it's not the first time, a phone brand is making people do things that are vulgar or do things that are, ungodly, or just things that are straight up disgusting. We had the BlackBerry era. We now have the iPhone era. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last. I don't think it has anything to do with spirit. I don't think it has anything to do with religion. I don't think it has anything to do with, what your... I mean, yes, in a way, it has what to do with what your parents taught you. But at the same time, your parents can teach you one thing, and then you decide that you will follow that teaching or you will not. So let me ask Farah, is it the spirit of contentment, or is it just basic discipline? Are you trying to say that those that did that thing to get the iPhone didn't have that spirit of contentment? So it's like the spirit, he chooses who he decides to possess, or it's when the parent decide to put that spirit of contentment in you.
Okay, so I think I even had this conversation with someone last night, and we talked about how everybody should have self-discipline and also contentment. Now, it's not, of course, a spirit that jumps from your parents to you, or your parents train you for it. Yes, some parents instill contentment in their children while growing up. However, I always also say that once you become an adult, you're 100% responsible for yourself. Yes, you have whatever it is that was factored in while you were growing up, but at this point now you are able to differentiate the right from the wrong, and it is in your place to be able to know what it is that you need and what you do not need. So for this particular one, I would say that the spirit of contentment and even discipline comes even to iPhone, unfortunately, to gadgets, unfortunately, because we're having a generation of people who, if you do not have a certain brand of phone or a certain kind of clothes, outfits, then you don't belong to a certain class. And of course, Nigeria is a place that encourages classism a lot. Someone said the other day that if you want to make money, make something and put a price tag that is unbelievably expensive, and you're going to see Nigerians want to prove a point that they are not broke by buying it. And of course, a survey has also proven that Nigerians are encouraging classism. So unfortunately, it's sad that we're even having this conversation. But yeah, a certain kind of a gadget is important for you to have to belong to a certain class of people. And it's sad because it's not supposed to be so. And that's why, to a very large extent, I kind of love the Igbo men, especially those ones who have businesses, who don't care. They can be having a ton of money in their bank account and will be using the list phone in their hands. It's none of their business, so far as they have money in their bank account. And I think that a lot of people need to learn that discipline, because that's also what makes them rumored to be the most productive set of people in businesses, because they're very focused, disciplined when it comes to their money and making their money. So in terms of making or getting an iPhone, and if the spirit of contentment jumps from parents to children, it's something that you have to inculcate in yourself as you grow older. And as always, using myself as a great example, I think growing up, I grew up around rich kids a lot, and I wouldn't say that I was a rich kid. We're doing great, we're average parents, we're average children, I didn't lack anything, but compared to the kind of kids I was growing up with, they were like rich kids, And I remember as a child, and I can accept this now because I'm an adult, right? As a child, I used to want to feel among so much. Like, they would tell you, oh, my dad carried the Mercedes Benz today and dropped me at school. My mom did this, and they'll always be like, yes, my dad used this. There was no car like that in my home, but just to feel among. Growing up, I realized for myself that I had so much pressure on my back as a
Yeah.
child because I grew up with rich kids, and it felt like I needed to feel among, to be a part of them, and it went down as to classrooms. I'm telling you, like, I think towards primary 4, when our teachers now begin to, how they begin to notice is that, oh, when it's PTA or PTI meetings, we used to have parent teachers interaction, and
Yeah.
then parent teachers association meeting.
Yeah.
So when it's PTI and the parents come, they will now give the teacher some money and all of that and all of that. My parents were not want to come and give money like that, So because of that, it already sold me out that, oh, it's as if this one is not in the elite, or this one is not in this certain class. And I remember my primary 4 teacher, like, that's how much it is. I can remember my primary 4 teacher accusing me of stealing because of, clearly I didn't steal anything, but then accused me of stealing and gave me the biggest embarrassment of my life as a child then.
Yeah.
So situations like that are in so many ways going to affect a child, but I choose that it wouldn't affect me. As I grew older, I realized that, okay, one of the things I did wrong as a child unknowingly was trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And then consciously I told myself that never again am I going to be telling useless lies that do not fit in. And God willing, that has been like a niche for me. Like, you're not going to catch me lying to you over something I do not have. So it's also an intentional effort that you need to inculcate in yourself, and it comes from realization. As you turn out to become an adult, you tell yourself that, okay, this is what is good, this is what is wrong, I do not have to indulge in this, I do not have to do this. Also, removing yourself from the pressure that society has placed, even social media has placed, that once you need to have an iPhone, you need to, if you do not, you can't. No, you need to remove yourself from that equation. You need to believe that, oh, I don't need any of this to be what I want to be or to who I want to be. Exactly. And it's one of the things that I think a few days ago I celebrated my younger sister, right? And it's one of the things that I love my younger sister for, surprisingly, because at that age I feel like I struggled so much with having to balance that, oh, I can't be asked by the world and all of that. I tried, but she does it so effortlessly. She doesn't care, she's contented with whatever it is that she has. Whatever it is she wants to do is what she do. For her age, I'm always like, this is amazing, because that's definitely, she's in her early 20s, like she just turned 21. So it's in those age or that age range that you begin to feel so much pressure, because you're seeing your mates doing the most, having the most, but she's not pressured by any of those. Like, she's very neutral about stuff sometimes, and I'm always really, really proud of her, seeing that she's not even struggling like I did at that age. So it's a conscious effort. It's something you need to consciously put in your system. You need to consciously put in your system. I think also telling someone this morning that when you start to cultivate a habit, right, it becomes very difficult at first, but consistency takes you to a point where it becomes a part of you. You do not even realize that this thing started as as me being intentional about it.
It's almost like second nature.
Exactly. So consistency will always put you, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter what it is that you're trying, or the attitude, that, oh, this is the tendency I have, or this is how the world wants things to be for me, but this is not how I want it to be, this is not what it's supposed to be. You have to intentionally inculcate the habit of being contented, and it might not be easy at first. You might even still be pricked, but when you see your mates have what you don't have and all of that, but when you become consistent and intentional, it gets to a point where you see them and then you're like, oh, okay, your mindset has already grown into whatever it is that you've believed for a really long time. So it's not something that only your parents can give to you. You can build it as well.
Well, it is, as Vera has said, it's not a habit that your parents will need to inculcate within you. It's something that you will cultivate within yourself. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people commented on that post, shared their thoughts. Some agreed, some disagreed, and some, well, let's just say they had some interesting things to say. We're going to go on a short break, and by the time we come back, we're delving straight in to the replies that particular tweet, or rather X post, got. If you're curious to find out what people had to say, don't go anywhere, stay tuned, we will be right back.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting every voice.
What's on your mind today? The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy. Isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority. If you heard and saw it from CEMTV, you can take it to the bank. CEMTV, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
Are still tuned to CEMTV, and this still is Jolly Life. We played you MMS Mr. Money Sound by Ashake, one and only, and of course we are back. So if you missed, when we started and you were just tuning in, we're just talking about a tweet, or rather an ex-post that was made, and the lady was talking about how she's 23 years old and she's never owned an iPhone before. She was thanking God for the spirit of contentment her parents taught her, and she knows the things that girls her age did to get an iPhone just to join the bandwagon and to feel among, as they would say. And like I said before the break, a lot of people had a lot of things to say, and here's one example of a response she got on that post. Now this one is from the Closeted Writer, and the Closeted Writer says, I mean, she's unemployed. No wonder she's so pained. Maybe if she got a job, she might be able to afford an iPhone. And another person says, Candily says, spirit of contentment, in quote. Make she no go find work, they save small. Now, another person, Uriel, says, I'm 21 and never owned an iPhone. I want one like mad. Contentment care. And Sonia says, she would do anything for an iPhone X. Not even an iPhone 13 or iPhone 14. And Desi says, yes, she does. The minute she used what a lot of girls have done, it showed her desperation to own one. Possibly she hasn't seen who will make her do what, in quotes, a lot of girls have done, or rather what a lot of girls have been doing. That's what Desi had to say. Haley had a response, and Haley says, LMAO. The fact that you think most girls give out their bodies just to get an iPhone is insane. And Sholakbe responded, I'm talking about what I have seen. Now, in this particular post here, there are still lots of girls that got them without doing anything shady, with Sholakbe responding, but there are few. The bad eggs are more. That's why everyone is being stereotyped now. And now the person responded again and said, no, the bad eggs are in the minority, but they're louder. That's why it seems so. And of course, Miss V says her inner reassurance isn't cutting it anymore for her. So she is reassuring herself publicly that she has the spirit of contentment and will not back down. This next response from Max says, iPhone is not a luxury. And of course, Sholakbe responds, in Nigeria it is. Now, I love the fact that Max responded, iPhone is not a luxury, because it's not. It is a device. It's the same as this phone or any other phone you're using. Any phone, as long as it fulfills its duty, is useful. So, when you look at a particular brand as luxury, I believe that's where the problem begins. Some brands, of course, are marketed as luxury. Some brands, their selling point is the fact that not everyone can afford it. And honestly speaking, in as much as that is their brand touch point, that's their BTP, it shouldn't then define your life as an individual or the life of individuals in the society. If that's their selling point and another person is able to afford it, the other people that can't afford it should not be looked down upon. That brand selling point should not then be the accepted norm of society as a whole. If it needs to be, gauged on, it should just be within those people in that community. If you get an iPhone, perhaps there's another iPhone user that should scrutinize you to say, oh no, since our brand touch point is on luxury, the higher you go, the more bourgeois you are, then perhaps since I'm using an 11 and you are using an X, I'm better than you. Or perhaps I'm using the 17 Pro Max and you're using an 11 Pro Max, hence I'm better than you. Instead of going out of that little circle and then defining the entirety of society based on that very linear view. A very linear view that was created only to bring that particular brand money and nothing more. Another question to the weather oracle with us here is this craze for looking at certain brands as luxury, is this defining for the Nigerian people? Now, I know it is the same in a lot of places. Outside the country, there are people that scrutinize and say, oh, if you don't use an iPhone, I automatically assume you're not in the class of people I'm looking for, even though when you go to said class of people, very few of them depend on an iPhone, because what they are looking at is accessibility, efficiency, and all-round, functionality, which the iPhone is honestly lacking. But I don't want to go into tech school right now. But is this defining for the character of the Nigerian youths right now? Or do you think, as the last response said, that it's just a minority, and because they are online more often, that's why it seems as though it's the majority of people that fall into this classist mindset?
Okay, so luxury is personalized to start with. I feel like for something to be luxury, it's that you have thought about it as luxury. Because guess what? There are people who do not see iPhone as luxury.
A lot of people, honestly speaking.
But then there are also people who see it as luxury because obviously it's beyond their reach to afford, or it's passed through a great amount of money that on a normal they will not spend. So luxury is personalized. So if someone says that this particular gadget, using iPhone as an example now, is a luxury to me. It does not mean it's luxury to another person. So at the end of the day, whatever it is that you consider luxury, phone inclusive, should be for you. Like, it's not what the world has defined as luxury. And even the people or the brands who create this, products and these services and call them luxury, is because they are personalizing it as well. They want their brand to be on a certain pedestal. That's why they will call their brands luxury brands, I mean to say. So it's not necessary, it's for their own self as well, for their own income, or let's say interest, while they are delivering this product or service to us. Now, as a person, you define whether that luxury they say they are selling or they are providing is for you or is for them. If it is luxury for you or is luxury for them. So it's important that you choose what it is as luxury for you. And what it is that might not be considered luxurious to another person can be considered luxurious to you.
For you,
because of course, your account balance is what it is that, your account balance is what it is that determines or tells us exactly what it is that you can afford and what you cannot afford. And for Nigeria and classism, I think that also we have societally, we have put in what it is that is luxury. Like, for example, iPhone is luxury in the society or in social media. On social media, iPhone is luxury.
Another example would be eating out.
Eating out, yes, is luxury. No, we have, defined luxury in our own way, especially on social media. And that luxury now has inculcated into a lot of people's head, and they feel like this is actually luxury. Even down to the person, there's someone who can afford to eat out, but would not eat out because he considers it luxury. That's how bad it is. The fact that, luxury has now been defined by society and has now been placed in our mental consciousness to make us feel like, oh, this is what is considered luxury, this is what is not considered
or someone
luxury.
that can even afford to eat out but decides to not eat out, and then when other people see him eating or see her eating said local food, it will be like, that's why you don't bad rich, or are you that broke, or are you that poor, and stuff like that.
So luxury is personalized, and at the end of the day, same thing we are saying, the center, like whatever it is that social media has to say, make sure that you are not allowing yourself to be conformed to the practices on social media or to the unspoken rules on social media, because at the end of the day, you are slaved. If you do that, you have to do what it is that social media says. You have to keep up. You do not have your own uniqueness at all. You are slaved, as a matter of fact. So it's important that no matter what it is that you do, iPhone is luxury to some people and not to some people, right? And also this conversation of women do some sales. So I mean, the men who buy it, don't they need to do something to get the phone? Like, we always, I don't know why we always place it that women can't afford the kind of money that men can afford.
No, it's not like, it's not like the women can't afford the kind of money. It's just when these examples are made, these women that are placed in this category, the common occurrence is that they tend to get these phones from men that have already established themselves, men that are successful businessmen.
How many women in this world can get phones from men that are, how many established men do we have, and how many women do we have that the established men in this world, all of them?
If we're even going into the world as a whole, like because now this problem, I'm trying to limit it to Nigeria, but if we're going by statistics, there are more successful men than there are successful women.
And I'm not even talking about the comparison of successful men to women. I'm talking about if every woman that has gotten an iPhone got it from a successful man, how many successful men do we have to go around to all the women who need phones?
It's money. Do you know that one successful
can buy like 10 phones for women?
Oh my day, you don't know? You don't know?
They're helping the less now. They're helping
the less privileged.
No, but they are.
Because that's the way it is. Do you think some of these girls that fall into this category that Sholakwe has given, do you think they just one will get it from one will get it from one? Like 10 different girls can get the phone from one person, and then they can, the same 10 girls can decide to get another brand of phone from another person. So it's not like, one girl that did it one person, one girl that fell into that category is just one person.
Statistically, it doesn't make sense to me, because I'm trying to create, there are a larger number of women in the world than men. right? And if we're even talking about successful men here, how many successful men do we really have? And now, it's one thing to say successful men. It's another thing to say how many successful men spend that much money on women to give them phones, to give not one person, more than one person phones. Now, how many? Now, how many success? How many less
the funny thing is that not all of them are successful. Or some of them, some of them take out loans. Some of them, exactly. Haven't you heard of those people
I think it's
they
becoming
talk about?
insulting to women to always attribute everything. I mean, a phone, an iPhone, like to men being able. It's becoming insulting, especially to this generation of women that we have seen working themselves out to earn. Well, I'm going to use myself as a common example. Before we started the show, I told you, I gave you my schedule, and I'm like, do you get how difficult it is? And then I'm working and making the small amount of money that I'm making for myself, and I'm able to get luxury. I remember when I wanted to buy my phone, right? And then it was an order, and I remember ordering for it, and then the person that ordered that was meant to ship the phone across did tell me something. He said, you're not the one buying the phone now, just tell Oga to add the money, because I was pricing. And I
just
got
automatically
so
assume.
I was like, who the hell are you? Like, what do you mean I'm not the one? Did I tell you somebody was buying the phone for me? I was so pissed, because you don't even know if I had to save for months to get this phone. You don't know anything, and you automatically thought it in your brain, assumed that I didn't get the phone for myself, that I should just tell Oga to add money now. I add the money now. And I was so pissed, and I gave it to him. I was like, don't ever in your life, because you're insulting me, that I cannot afford a simple thing as a phone. It was really painful. So it's painful to see that we still attribute these conversations, or we still even though let's say even though these women, it is men that buy phones for them. Do you think it's easy work? No, not to glorify anything at all, but do we think that it is easy work? That a woman, what kind of sweet mouth do you want to have? Do you know what the extent of bad things that people do? Just it's also, see, if you're doing something bad, it's also work. You're doing something good, it's hard work as well, because you have to go a certain extent for you to be able to convince someone to get you a phone, and that could lead out like to whatever it is that you need to do to get that phone. And so aside that, there are women who work themselves out on a daily basis to make sure that they can afford some certain lifestyles for themselves. Phone is like basic for anybody. It's a basic necessity. So if I'm going out of my way to get something a bit luxurious for a basic necessity for me, I don't think that it should be attributed to a man. Now, some women are lucky enough to have men, maybe husbands, boyfriends, male friends, whatever, who buy them these items. It does not automatically erase the fact that they can make it for themselves. There are also even men that I've seen, especially in Abuja, because I hear that's where we have sugar mummies, especially in Abuja, women buy phones for them as well. So let's not attribute it to, every woman must have to, so it must be bought for them, they have to do something to get it. No. How many women do we have that can go around to all the successful men? How many successful men do we have that can go around to all the women that need the iPhone? That's not fair at all. It's not fair to women and the progress that we've made.
Indeed, it's not fair to assume that any lady, or the majority of ladies that get an expensive phone, is because of the influence of a man, or the input of a man. And even worse, the fact that it wasn't gotten with their hard work. Instead, it was gotten via vulgar means, or sexually exploitable means. And it isn't fair, and I can understand why a lot of ladies there were very upset with what she had to say, and they were like, perhaps the spirit of contentment she's talking about is because she hasn't seen the avenue, or let her get a job and finally decide to get herself the phone, or all of this is because you don't have the phone and you think you're content, and another person is like, I don't have the phone and I'm content, but I want the phone, and so on and so forth. So because some people may not have it, or have decided to not get it, doesn't mean that it's beyond them, or people that have it, it's because they went above and beyond and did immoral things in order to get themselves that device. Now, to round up, Vera, do you think that anyone with that kind of mindset is a red flag when it comes to a relationship. Like, if from the lady's angle, she says, oh, because the guy is not using an iPhone, he's not my spec, it's not my thing, it doesn't fall into the class of guys I need. And for the guy, he would say, oh, once she's using an iPhone, this one means the issue for them. It'd be like she don't do some one or two things in order to get that iPhone. Do you think it's a red flag when it comes to a relationship?
I want to answer this as politically as
no, no,
the reason,
politics.
The reason I'm trying to answer this politically, right, is because I have also sat here and said that red flags or specifications should be personalized in the sense that whatever it is that is your spec should be created by you. What
By
works
you
for
and
you,
for you.
for you and by you, whatever it is that works for you on a daily basis. Now,
Democratic
if
spec.
waking up in the morning and seeing that the man you are with, the man's Android phone is provoking you, I don't know. Maybe the first thing in the morning is his phone and the phone is provoking you. You can't deal with that all day now, but you can't deal with that all the time, right? But then it's important to put something secondary and put most things primary.
Okay.
So I would not say that it is a red flag. I'm, however, saying that it is a solvable problem. Do you understand? Now, I'm saying that if you are a person who loves, and there are women who love their men to look luxurious. I mean to say, you know. So, is it something that can be achievable? Do they have the money to afford that luxury? And maybe I'm not just very careful about their dress sense. Maybe they don't just pay attention to these things, but it's doable. Then it's secondary. It can be taken care of. But if you know that if you wake up in the morning every day and this person's bad attitude, this person's what do you call it, Android phone is going to be getting you angry every day, sister, you go and look for the one that has the iPhone and there's nothing you can do to change the situation. Then, you know, at the end of the day, personalize your specifications, but let it be something that works on the long run. And giving that example, I personally, and I'm going to be honest, don't see it as realistic. The fact that you're going to wake up every morning and your partner's Android phone is annoying you, it's not realistic. Do you understand? And again, it is a situation that can be changed. But if it is realistic to you, go ahead, do you, enjoy yourself. Don't follow somebody that doesn't have the luxurious iPhone, if you know it's going to make you irritated when you wake up in the morning and see the phone every day.
You know, your answer was so political. I wanted to chisel it down. I'm sure the viewers would have noticed there was a point where it sparked in my head. I knew the next thing I was going to throw, and I know that it will stumble you by saying, "No, no,
no, you can go ahead. I'm always ready. Hit me with anything.
I'm not gonna do that. You understand? Because I understand that you're trying to, you know, answer in a way that it will not. Because to some people that's their reality.
Yeah, I
to
think
some
I have
it is
put
that
it in
important.
a way that you
deep.
know you can understand with common sense, right? I think I've put it to a certain level, the way that you can understand with common sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you to pick this, pick that. I'm not going to outrightly tell you this, but I'm going to tell you whatever it is that could lead you to that decision making.
Yeah,
so I think I've done that, right?
Very true. Well, that's the most we can take on Jolly Life. I do hope you enjoyed yourself, because obviously I'm sure maybe I did, and I'm sure Vera did as well.
I actually did. You know, the thing about conversations is that it even deepens you to your own level of knowledge, right? And I enjoy having those conversations here because it also deepens me. I also learn from these conversations. I learn from you, Tammy. And when we get to the point where, of course, I'm going to be taking, you know, opinions from our watchers, from our viewers, so most definitely I'm open to learning from everybody, having a nice time, light-hearted laughter and conversation. So yeah, I've had a good time. I hope you have as well.
Well, I indeed have, and as she has said, a time will come where the phone lines will be open to you and social media comments dropped live will be read as is. And of course, if you missed today's episode, you missed today's edition, perhaps because you were a bit busy or you forgot or just for reasons beyond your control, don't worry. It'll be posted on our YouTube channel at CEMTVPLUS, so you don't miss any minute, second or time within Jolly Life. I am Emmanuel Tamino Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. And with this, I bid you adieu.